Hi, my name is Christina Adams, and this is the place where we talk about God, Christianity, and life. Right now, I'd like to discuss Seven by Jen Hatmaker. We recently went through her book, and uh, these are just some of my thoughts. I do want to note, however, first that I have several different ways that I read a book, and the way I read her book was more of a concept and like overview kind of read rather than like a word by word, line by line kind of read. Most partly because of the topic and the content, the style, the way it was written. It's not a very technical book, and so it's very conversational, very chatty, and that kind of style is just not really my cup of tea. But I did think her concept was interesting, and I wanted to read about her process. So I checked out, like the different things that she tried and the different results that she had. And the general idea behind it is that she wanted to try a month where she took a certain area of her life and she limited it down to just 7 items. So she had a time where she did food and she was only allowed to eat 7 different types of food. So she'd have like chicken and avocados and apples, and then she could only make things that had those ingredients in them. And or she did one with clothes where she only wore the same 7 types of clothes. So she had one dress she could wear. She had 2 pairs of pants, 2 pairs or 2 shirts, and other accessories that I don't remember. She did one where she was only allowed to buy things at 7 locations. And so she only had 7 places that she could shop. She had one where she had only she had to get rid of 7 things a day, or and that one she ended up going way above and beyond on that. But she had several different areas. The areas were food, clothes, possessions, media, waste, spending, and stress. And those were the seven areas that she tried to limit to only 7 things that she could do that with. And then she basically just treated each chapter as if it was a series of blogs on various days while she was having her limit of 7, and how successful she was, how just her struggles, her ups and downs, and the people who helped her through it. And yeah, so it is a very light style type of writing, but the concept of it was one that I thought was kind of worth considering, just because she's actually she does compare what she's doing to a fast, but I think biblically a fast is specifically food, and it's complete abstinence rather than like the Daniel fast is really not a fast. Daniel did abstain from certain foods, but he did not fast. And I don't think his abstaining of foods was ever really called a fast. It was just kind of called a fast in more recent days and times. And so what she was doing is also really not completely a fast, because she does allow herself to have certain things. But the idea of abstaining from certain things for the specific purpose of trying to cut that the draw and the pull that those items or those areas might have on our regular life, like that, I think is pretty valuable. And so I did appreciate that aspect of it, because it's not something that a lot of people really talk about taking a break from certain things. I know for myself, I have taken breaks in certain areas of my life. Like there was a year where I didn't read fiction, and other things kind of like that. And I've seen the benefit of not being able to do something, and it really does change who you are toward that item. That item ceases to have as much power over you, and so abstaining really does have a lot of good benefits from it. Now, as far as the whole overview of her book, like I'm not really sure if it's a book that I would necessarily recommend. I definitely would recommend the concept, and I would really recommend it being something that you decide to do with God. That's something that I felt like her book was not as strong in how you would duplicate such an experiment yourself, because what we want to do is we want to be working with God for specific purposes that He has either given us to work on or that we want to grow in Him on. And yeah, so that's kind of what it should be done, because then you're doing it with God, and He is the one who can determine whether or not you're, like what kind of impact it ultimately has in your life. So yeah, I just thought that it was an interesting book. And if you've ever had an experience where you've abstained from something, I'd be really interested to hear it. And if you've read her book and tried it, I'd be interested in knowing how that worked out for you. What things did you like about it? What things did you not like? So I hope to see your comment below.